Matt Ryan, who is literally John Constantine. This is his third, coming up on fourth with the CW Seed show. So how does that feel?
Oh, it's great. It's great to be able to have played such an iconic character and to be accepted by the fans. To do him in this context, to do him in the context I did in Arrow, and then to be doing it on the CW Seed as an animated series as well. It's a real honor and a privilege. It's fantastic.
Well, cool. And as John Constantine's, I'll just say it, #1 fan myself, I have been so impressed by your portrayal. Did you really get in depth with the comic books to learn about the character?
Yeah, well, I read about, I think I managed to read about 150 or 160 of them or something. I'm starting to reread them again and go back as we're doing the animated series. But yeah, I mean, I used to take a comic book everywhere I went. I always had a comic book in the back. And on the TV show, if there was something that I couldn't quite find, then I'd just look at a panel and find the physicality of him or something. But then I used to also read a comic before I went to bed. But I had to stop that because I was starting to get strange dreams of demons and stuff. So yeah, I decided to read Winnie the Pooh instead. Not really, but
Yeah, I used to read Constantine before I would go to bed, so that may be what's wrong with me.
Yeah. I'd say daytime reading. Some of those Hellblazer comics are pretty dark. They are.
Did you read comics as a kid?
I wasn't a huge comic book fan, to be honest with you. Not that I didn't like them, I just don't think I was really introduced into them. But I love the comic book characters like Batman and Superman and lots of the stuff I watched on TV and in movies. But I wasn't really introduced to them until later on. But I'm a huge comic book fan now, and I'm a huge fan of Constantine, obviously, and I love reading all sorts of comics now, yeah.
Well, cool. So that's good to hear. Mucous Membrane, the punk band, is a big part of the John Constantine character. Are you hoping that you get to at least dabble in that soon?
Well, what's funny is when we were doing the TV show, John Joe O'Neill, who played Gary Lester, me and him have been friends for years. We worked together years ago at the Royal Shakespeare Company, and we both play guitar. So we had an idea that if the show was to continue, that we would kind of, just do a little something. It didn't come to fruition, but it would have been fun.
Well, I've been trying on every podcast I've ever been on. I pitched to Joe Henderson at Lucifer. I pitched to Sarah Nicole Jones at Legends of Tomorrow. So hopefully we will get a live-action John Constantine back soon. What do you think?
Well, it wouldn't be a bad thing. He's a great character, and there's so many more cool stories to explore. So who knows? Never say never, that's what I say.
Yeah, especially now that they're doing musical stuff on the CW. You got to see some punk rock in there.
Punk rock's pretty cool, yeah. It'd be cool to see him in Mucous Membrane.
Well, cool. So I think that's it. Do you have anything new coming up that's not John Constantine related you'd like to plug for us?
Yeah, I'm actually in a TV show called The Halcyon, a British TV drama, World War II drama set in the 1940s in this hotel called The Halcyon. It's about kind of the high society British elite and all the other people who work in and around the hotel, and how the war affects them and how they interact during that time. That's on in the UK at the moment, and it will be on in the US soon, but I'm not quite sure when.
Well, cool. Do you have anything to say to your fans that have pushed for you to be John Constantine?
Only thank you, because I'm still here. It's not going away. The fact we're doing the animated series as well now, this far after doing the TV show, it's great. I love the character, and I can't thank the fans enough for being so kind of for accepting me for this wonderful character.
Yes, and of course, thank you for being the best live-action portrayal, and hopefully the animated portrayal when I get to see this movie for John Constantine.
Cheers.
All right.
Have a good one.
You too. Nice to meet you. That was Matt Ryan, aka John Constantine.